Sorry about the dodgy angle. 35 miles to go. Cheers. I'm about 1 mile into this now, maybe even 2. I've got to keep the video short and all that because obviously I'm trying to save my battery. But there's a really nice lavender field to the side of me. Oh, touch of lavender, anyone? Yeah. So far it's been pretty good actually. Trying to keep a good pace. I'll keep you updated. Cheers. 5 miles in, guys. Feeling pretty good actually. Stopped off very shortly to get a little bit of grub. Got a couple of pork pies and a big selection pack of Snickers. Otherwise, yeah, feeling really good. Like I say, 5 miles in, and I shall be updating you. But obviously, I've got to keep quite what do you call it? Good about the battery on this phone because I've got a power bank, and a way of charging it, but it's going to involve a little bit of faffing around. So I'm just trying to preserve it. Progress update. I'm in Greasy Spoon right now, just getting a breakfast. Oh, I think I've done about 7 miles. Nearly made a complete boo-boo and added an hour onto my journey because on Google Maps I didn't select by foot. But anyway, I finished off my breakfast. It's so nice being able to eat like a savage. You know, ordering extra butter, extra everything, extra salt just because you need it really. I'm continuing on. My feet are starting to blister actually, and also where my waist belt is, that's starting to really dig in, so I have to make a few adjustments and all the rest of it. But yeah, I'm about 8 miles in now. So
slight left onto South Street.
6 to go. Cheers. Not gonna lie, this is tough. 10 miles in, I reckon. Feet are hurting like fuck. But the power meeting has sent me some encouraging messages, which is egging me on. Do you know what I mean? I've always wondered what it'd be like to get on a rucksack this heavy, see how far I could go with it. Do you know what I mean? 35, 36 miles is nothing to scoff at. I'm just doing it. Fuck it. What is it? Pain is weakness leaving the body, they say. A psychopath on the cycle path. See my stats on a graph, you'd think I was daft.
Continue on to Christchurch Road.
When you come to bends like this, guys, you've got to keep yourself safe. Always stay with the traffic coming towards you, unless you come into an invisible bend. i.e. if I was coming up the other way here, this way, then I would switch to the other side momentarily. But you've got to keep yourself safe on those bends, guys, because it will shock drivers at the last minute, and they could swerve and do something weird and end up killing you, so just be safe. Nothing more demoralising than following your map. Well, Google Maps, and it thinks you're on a road, but you're not actually on that road. And I was walking down alongside the train station. I probably just walked about, well, by the time I get back up there, about another kilometre extra. Oh, just what you need, innit? Oh. Well, my feet are on fire. Each step is an actual task, I'm not going to lie. Have I bitten off more than I can chew? We shall see. Right, Google Maps is fucking with me. I haven't taken any wrong turns, I swear. Look at the map and it's still saying 27 miles to go. I don't see how that's fucking possible. Maybe it was 39, 40 miles I had to go. So, well, I need to do a minimum of 20 miles today then. It's saying I've only done 12, but it feels like more, I've got to say. It's a shame this patch I've hit, it would be perfect to spend the night obviously, but that leaves a bit too much to do tomorrow because I've got to get to my power by about 7, and you know, it's sometimes easier just to keep going rather than actually you know, stop and then suffer the soreness tomorrow. So I'm going to try and get as much as I can done today, but I'm fucked, I'm not going to lie. This is a very nice woodlands though, it'd be perfect for me. Just hope to find another place. I mean, obviously when I stop off, for tonight, I'll just find somewhere, anywhere when it's dark, do you know what I mean? I can even sleep on a park bench if I have to, because I've got a bivvy bag and sleeping bag and all the rest. So yeah, a little tour. But yeah, Google Maps, man, it's fucking with my head right now. Wouldn't trust it emphatically. I should actually get myself a proper, what do you call it, orthopedic map. You know what I mean. Cheers guys. 15 miles, 15 mile mark. My feet are absolutely fucked. They're so fucked right now that I'm contemplating chopping my feet off. It would actually feel like walking on stumps would be easier. Have a look at these blisters. There we go. Yeah, I know. Told you, there's a touch of atavism there. Monkey feet. Note to self, next time I'm going to have to get some of that moleskine stuff or whatever. This is not really going to cut it, but... Oh yeah, again, Google Maps has fucked me up. As you can see, that's the path I've had to just walk down, slightly treacherous. But it looks like it's coming onto a normal pathway again, thank fuck. I didn't fancy getting mowed down on a dual carriageway. Anyway, I'd say I'm about 17 miles in. Google Maps, again, said 35 miles originally, but now we're looking at more 39. I've been 20 miles and I'm absolutely fucked. My backpack, I'll have to weigh it for you guys to let you know, but it's so fucking heavy. And I've done a good day, I've walked very far, but I just sort of had to have an hour's sleep. I literally was lying on a grass verge at the side of the road. Basically there's a woods I've found on the map that's a bit more less conspicuous than like I say, a grass verge, and I'm just really pigeon stepping over there. I'm absolutely fucked. My legs are in a bad way. I don't know if I'm going to be able to hit this. I mean, I don't know, we'll see what I feel like tomorrow, but my legs and my hips are ready to just fall off, literally. I'm feeling in a really bad way. So I'm just going to hobble myself along. This backpack's got to be like 40 kilos. Anyway, I'll do another little bit of video when I found somewhere sensible. Alright. Exhausted as I am, I found a little space in this here woodlands. It's not too far off a roundabout. I was tempted to sound a roundabout, but I thought that would slightly take the piss. But hopefully no one will notice me here. I'm just going to strap my tarp up now and have a bite to eat. I am absolutely fucked. So it just, you know, it's going to stop the rain getting onto me. I mean, normally I sit on, I normally have a little bit of a, what do you call it? I use a sleeping bag, a wool blanket, and also my mind's frazzled, sorry, a wool blanket and a bivvy bag. So, do you know what I mean? I'm pretty much well covered with that alone. Could sleep out in the elements on just with that. But yeah, the mozzies are starting to get on my tits, so I'm probably going to collect a little bit of firewood just for my little stove, which I'll show you in a bit. So this is perfect. It's just a little bit of dead standing that was leaning up against the top of a tree. It was obviously dead, but it's not going to be rotten inside, so that should burn pretty well. And plus, it's a nice manageable size, so I can just literally feather edge that and feather stick that, sorry, and go from there. These are just some of the tools I brought with me, guys. You've got the Grams for Brooks axe here, which is beautiful. It's really nice, comes from Sweden. You get a maker's mark on that, and it's also shaving sharp. It really is shaving sharp when you get it, so be warned. And then there's obviously the trusty full Neven F1 with you know, just a bit of gaffer tape added on so I could put a fire still there. Really nice knife again, but they've gone up in price. They're just stupidly priced now actually. But you can see, well loved and used. There's the Mikata handle version, and then obviously the Barco Laplander. Don't need a lot of wood for this little stove. Better be careful because I'm so tired. Mozzies are out in force now. See, look, that's just literally touched the edge of that blade. I didn't chop it or nothing, but just sliced it, just the tiniest bit, because I'm tired. See how sharp that axe is? You've always got to be careful when you're exhausted, because accidents can happen. Right, that should be enough for my little steel stove there, guys. Whenever you've got sharps out in the woods, always take a first aid kit. A plaster, nice scissors, and an alcohol wipe. That comes out the bottom, this bit falls out. You see how? And then literally, it's got a little rivet in there, and that sort of holds it all together, like so. And literally pops on top. So it allows, once the pot is on top, it allows you to feed the fire if you like. And I'll just stick that there. Cool. Well, I'm not obviously going to cook anything tonight, guys. I'm just literally, I'm doing it for the mozzies, just to get them out my face. Cool. Particularly important to keep organised with your stuff, because it starts to get dark, you get caught out, and you lose something. And it was just the last time I went, my friend, we were feeding the fire, and my friend actually threw his Barco Laplander in the fire, so he had to buy a new one. He was gutted about that, and I felt really bad for him. Yeah. To be honest, I'm going to have to split these down a little bit more. In fact, no, I won't, because I'm so fucking tired. I'm going to cheat tonight. I'm going to use matches, and in the fire kit, keeping one of those little sweet cans. If I can get it open, should have maybe a hexamine. Oh yeah, there you go, I've got a hexamine in there, just one. Just allows me to get a fire started on the pronto should I need to. So hopefully that should be enough. If not, I've got more. Always good to keep a variety of matches from safety to non-safety to lifeboat matches. And if you're really hard up, they say it's good to, the minute you light a match, light a candle. Oh, it's gone out. There you go. Light a candle because, for obvious reasons. See, they're big old bits of wood, but because they're so bone dry, they should burn nicely. I've split these ones down a couple of bits just so I can make sure they catch. And like I say, this is going to be quite a stealth camp here, so I'm not really looking to make this obviously too big. Not that I could anyway, because it's so damn small. That should be plenty, just to keep these bastards off me. Get it in my face and all that, just make sure I'm... Right guys, I've now got a couple of gadgets I wanted to show you, because my phone is obviously running low. I'm doing all the video on the phone and using it as a GPS at the moment. So what I figured is I bought a battery bank, and it means obviously to charge this phone when I'm on the go. Made by Rav Power. Really is a fantastic little gadget for you outdoors people. Just like a brick really. Reasonably weighty I guess, but worth its weight in gold if you're using a GPS or something like that. I've also got like a miniature solar panel that I'll show you tomorrow when I visit my friend. So it's probably going to be a long video guys, but literally you just it's just plug and play. So plug into there, straight into your device, and you're charging again, which I'll do now. 4 lights because I charged it on the way, so that can just sit there nicely doing its thing. Alright, so because this bandage is not behaving on my sweaty hands, I'm going to literally gaffer tape the fucking thing, if you can see that. Gaffer tape the thing to my hand because it's getting annoying now. Fucking insects. Sucking. That should stay quite nicely, because that was the only big plaster I could find. I wish I knew I had that actually, because you should have seen the patchwork I've done on my foot already. It's all the blisters and that. So anyway, that's the Bushcraft kit, which you have seen on my bug out bag video. But what I've done guys is I've just created a little break, so anyone driving past isn't going to see there. You know, it's only a tiny fire, but they're not going to get alarmed and think there's some forest fire. Even though it's a very damp woodlands, there's no danger of that. Again, that's the break there. Guys, I bought very basic rations. I bought some sort of granola bars, I think you call them, like fruisley sort of bars. A can of mackerel, you know, I love that shit. And then bought some Cadbury's drinking powder, the PSLO resistance. I figured because I've got this fire going, I might as well make good use and have a cup of brew. It's sad not to, isn't it, wasting that heat. So I'll just double bag it and turn it inside out like that, so I don't really have to use a spoon. I can just stir that with my knife. Like I say, I'm about 21 miles in now, I'd say. 20 miles, 21 miles. And after my little sleep in a ditch earlier, I literally thought I was going to have to phone a fucking ambulance. I was in such a bad way, like a pussy. But like I say, I will weigh this backpack just to show that I'm not like carrying, you know, light stuff. I'm actually carrying a lot of gear. So yeah, so he was going to call me an Uber, but I still think I can make the 15 miles tomorrow. We'll see how my legs are feeling. And bless my wife, she was on standby to you know, get me a hotel. Love her. But yeah, so that's the sort of rations. I've got a few more bits like that I bought along the way, but for now, a bit of hot chocolate will go down a storm, I think. I've also bought a pack of high energy cashew nuts. Got some wet wipes for them, so I'm going to clean myself down because I absolutely stink. I've also got a can of tuna that I keep in this sort of dry bag just to keep all the grizzlies out and to keep it waterproof. That's the can of tuna. Not that I need to. I mean, I've got, you know, bits and pieces in these sort of, you know, Tupperwares, but this is just like a basic brew kit as well, which I've got like mainly coffees, I believe, instant coffees, sugars, a spoon. Mind you, fuck it, I want to use that. A spoon that I adopted. It's really handy because now when I wash up, I literally hook it onto something so I don't lose it. So that's that. And I've also got in there, if I remember correctly, in this one I've got some coconut oil. It's in one of those little jars, because that's good for everything. You can literally put it on everything. It's a lubricant, it's oh yeah, and some salt as well. And then the rest of it's sachet sugars and a few more sachets of salt, a couple of tea bags in there, because, you know, milk is a problem. I've just gone for the instant black coffee sort of route. Actually, they might have some whitener in there, I don't know, but that's like a brew kit, you know, for when you're really down in the dumps. And I keep that in a plastic bag because obviously anything you use in the woods, you've got to take out of the woods. You know, you've got to keep our woods pristine, people, obviously. And it just goes back in there. And I might as well add the cashew nuts to the whole that's there now. I'll surprise my pal with them. I've also got, let me just see, I've got some juice that I bought along the way, because obviously 20 miles you are losing a lot of nutrients and all sorts, and I didn't want to get sick, so that's my vitamin C. I believe it's the only thing that human beings can't store in terms of vitality. So yeah, you need your vitamin C every day. Anyway, I will leave the wet wipes out because I normally do like a preliminary clean of the pot with some wet wipes, and then just use very little water at the end, just because obviously water is heavy and it's a bitch to carry. And when we get to this other place, resupplying is a bit of a problem. Yeah, I bought that because I was keeping the old the iPhone in it, but it ended up that I wasn't really using it, just to look cool. Yeah, so that's it. It's going to be ready to go, and that's my water bottle. It's hang on. It's a stainless steel I.N.C.H, which I really recommend, because obviously if you take the plastic lid off, you can sit that straight in a fire and use it like a kettle. But as it is, I use the Glacier cup that you Americans will be very aware about, and that sort of just nestles inside there quite nicely for storage. But it's really important to keep yourself clean, obviously, just to make sure you're all good. Don't want to get some infection and whatever. Okay, well, I've got some of these smaller twigs that I've actually gone and done, because I didn't follow my advice and make plenty of firewood, if you can see that. So now the idea is, when I put my cup sitting on top of that, can you see that? I can still feed the fire with these smaller ones just to keep it all going. Right, in the spare clothing bag that I keep right in the bottom of the bag, I keep very simply a t-shirt, just sort of a wicking t-shirt, so it'll be like poly cotton. So after you've had your little wash down, it's nice to go to bed not smelling of arse. What else? I keep, you know, some spare socks and bits like that, which I'll change into too. I mean, I went through a long period of just watching videos and not really getting out and practicing my skills. And I think, with the approaching Third World War that everyone doesn't believe me about, well, I think it's already begun actually, but it's nice to hark back to some simpler days. You know, we take a lot of these skills for granted. You know, we turn on the boiler and we've got hot water instantly. All that jazz instantly, do you know what I mean? And so, you know, who could say it might be taken away from us one day, or we might move preemptively into that situation just to stop ourselves from becoming, you know, reliant on the system, which we are doing daily. So just to practice these skills, I think, is putting you in good stead. If you know, if those oil barrels stop getting delivered, what happens? If the oil barrels stop getting delivered, it's what are we going to do for heat? You know what I mean? We're sort of reliant on that Western oil, and we haven't really been good about, you know, getting our sort of renewables sorted. This is what I neglected to do last time. This time, this is why I got such bad blisters. I normally put like a very thin pair of socks, like a suit sort of socks, on first, and then I put on the thicker socks, and that just provides that sort of like, if these stick to your feet, and then if there's going to be any rubbing, it's going to be between the two socks rather than your feet. Because have a look at this. Have a look at this. To all the people that thought I got a cab, yeah, my feet are fucked. I'm sorry to gross you out with that, guys, but it's just the reality. You walk that far and you don't take precautions with your feet, and you're going to end up looking like fucking just a wally. Oh, so nice to be semi-washed. I'm back ready to go. I normally leave my boots on, press loosely, just to make sure I'm set for the night and I don't get my socks all dirty. Thin bits. Just keep that fire fed. Obviously, you got to respect that fire triangle, guys. It's heat, ignition. What was it? Heat, ignition, and fuel, I believe it is. So there's. Oh, don't quote me on that. It's fucking terrible. I used to be a fireman. I should know this shit. But my excuse is it's all about putting the shit out. But nah, ignore all that. Fuck that. Let's hope that isn't for me. Right, I've got the old flash on now, guys. So anyway, so what we have is the wool blanket folded up a couple of times, just for the, you know, the your body's mass. It doesn't really affect my my legs and feet really. You don't really need that padding, but to have it around your core mass is good. Also got like just a piece of that stuff that I was using for insulation. It's that bubble wrap covered in mylar. This is the bivvy bag, and I've got my sleeping bag inside it. And I've just used the stuff sack with my jumper in it as a pillow, because I always forget to make a pillow. But I'll just give you a little look at what the camp looks like. Oh yeah, my legs, oh boy. Oh. So that's stealth camping it up. Obviously I could flip the other side over, but I don't think it's going to rain tonight. Not too concerned if it does. But yeah, you're not really ever going to see that from a road, are you now? So yeah, And the road, don't get me wrong, is literally, hang on, just there. As you can see that car going past. It's quite subtle. Like a self-tightening knot with a couple of half hitches. The other one is an I.N.C.H, which is like some sort of Mongolian cattle herder's knot. It's very fast, and you can tie up your dog. If you're using a rope, you can tie up your dog very quickly and look like some fucking cowboy. But yeah, obviously, if you're going to be a lot longer in the woods, you'd obviously develop that camp and all the rest. But for a night over, I could strike camp by 5 o'clock in the morning and be gone, and no one would know I was here. Do you know what I mean? I'll put all this debris back and make sure I've cleaned up. And that's that, guys. But at least she was boiling. Yeah, even though it's watery, it's good. Everything tastes good when you're camping, alright? Bon dia. Just sticking around. Day 2 tomorrow.
Morning. I'll level with you, that's probably the worst sleep I've ever had in my life. Wow. Well, I was too hot for a start, so I was trying to vent this bivvy bag that I'm in. The trouble is that the mozzies were buzzing around me all night, so I was having to switch between sort of tightening up this hole, so it was just a tiny little peak hole, but then they were still trying to attack me there, so I slept really badly. I went to bed at sort of 9:45. Excuse the face. And I woke up at 10. Sorry, at something like 2:30, and I thought it was 3:30, but it can't have been because I fell asleep for another hour, and I woke up and it wasn't even 3 yet. So yeah, I ended up taking the sleeping bag off completely so I could close this, because obviously when I was tightening it up it was too hot, and I slept on the sort of sleeping bag on top of it, so I was just in my bivvy bag plain, but the mozzies just kept on attacking me, so so I'm going to have to get one of those mozzie head nets. I tried to get one from Wilco and my pal got one yesterday, but unfortunately I don't stock them anymore. But anyway, I'm going to sort of strike camp in a bit and see if I can go and find some breakfast somewhere. I don't know about this walk, if I'm going to do these 15 or so miles now, I don't know. It might be more like 20, so we'll see. You saw my foot, it's in a really bad way, and every square inch of my body's hurting right now, so we'll see. Obviously, I'm going to be spending the night out again with my pal, and I'll be good to know man or beast if I arrive there fucked. I mean, I just can't imagine doing what I did yesterday on these feet again today, so we'll see. It's been really tough, guys, I'm not going to lie. It's pretty sore.
Right guys, I'm just finishing off making this look like no one was here. Just the finishing touches. Right, I've decided to just power on through. After yesterday I wasn't 100% sure I was going to be able to walk much further because my legs were fucked obviously, so but I've had a nice bit of encouragement off my pal. Comes at the right time. Woke up to see a cool text off of him. And yeah, this is probably one of the most challenging things I've ever had to do. But yeah, you only live once in this body, they say, so it's about going above and beyond, I guess. I've done about 1.5 miles so far this morning. It's now 7:30. Thought I'd get a good start on the day because I'll probably take plenty of rest stops, and hopefully it doesn't get too hot and humid. But I've got to hit a town to try and resupply my water, obviously. So I shall update you, but literally every step is an effort, you know. My legs, my hips, my back, everything is in pain right now. But yeah, stop for a little refuel and patch up. I'm going to do my feet with these extra large sort of plasters, and they're only about £1, which is I'm quite impressed with. Also, if you haven't tried any of these, do so. They are amazing. I think they've got ginseng in them because they really do pick you up. But yeah, they're really, really nice, and there's no nasties in them either, so give that a try. Just some crisps and a sandwich, Tesco's meal deal. I bought 2 packs of these obviously because I'm probably going to need them. Well, that was my first experience with a hitchhiking situation. A very nice man called Alan picked us up, drove us about 6 or 7 miles, which is fantastic. It means I'm going to be well ahead of time now. Yeah, hitchhiking isn't such a bad thing, I must say. Really, really nice guy helping a fellow Londoner out, what can I say? Anyway, I'm going to go and get one of these breakfasts on the fly, and we'll see how we go.